So, yeah, I'm half Brittany Spaniel and half Border Collie, and afraid of water. What are you afraid of? Buttons? Really? You're kidding. Come on, you can do it. Thank you for watching.
Hi, welcome to Angel's Nook. I have found a copy of a painting that I have loved for years and years. I have only in the past been able to find it as a print, and I finally found an option of it in canvas. So right now, that's why this is shiny. It still has protection over it, but it won't look like that when it's finished. And I found this frame for $5 at a thrift store. It's actually a very expensive frame. It's solid wood, and then all of this detailing has been added on either with carved wood here or with plaster of Paris molds and filled on this. So at one time in someone's home, this was a very expensive purchase. I'm not going to leave it in this finish for my purpose with this painting, but it is a perfect opportunity to show you how the colors of a frame impact a painting. Right now, this would be pretty close to what the original painting, which was done in 1916, would have been in: a dark frame with highlights, not of the copper that this has, but of actually of gold, and it would have been real gold leaf. But if you look at this, the copper of the frame actually goes well with the red of her hair, the reds that are in the browns, and the stones and the different places here. It picks back up the little hint of red that's hiding under her. But for where I want to put this, it's too dark. And the frame does have some damage that I'll have to repair before I do anything with it. But I want you to see how the picture looks now. It has a little bit of darkness to it. It has a little bit of moodiness to it. But I'm going to show you the frame that I had picked up to use with this. Except this doesn't want to come out. There we go. It's good that it's a nice tight fit, but it makes it difficult to switch out. It's very, very heavy because it's solid wood underneath. What I had found to actually do some more work on, I wasn't going to use this even the way that it is. But look at the difference in the tonality of the painting. Suddenly it's much brighter, lighter. It has not as dark a mood to it. And the white is pulling out the white of the surf, the sails, the lighter skin tones here, and it's not a pure white. They put a yellow paint on it and an imitation of gold, which I don't like, but I liked the shape of this. Now, I'm going to do a white to go with her, and I'm going to do some antiquing highlights on it that are going to be a little bit different than this. But I wanted you to see the two comparisons, because this is going back to the store because this was $80, and I had not yet run across the other frame. And when I did, I said, the paint and I are going to make a beautiful frame, and I'm going to save $75. So that's what's going to happen with this piece. I used this frame for a part of another video before putting white on it. So it's got antiquing gels in different places on it, but it's not an issue for what I want to do now. But before I start putting my first coat of white on here, there are some areas on this that need filled with wood putty. And at some point the frame was dropped and it's back together, but the cracks need to be filled because with white, those cracks are really going to show. With the dark frame here, the slight separation on the 45 isn't really evident. But it really would be, and I do not want these gloves on for this, because I need to be able to use my fingertips. And Jim, if you can hand me some paper towels, that would be lovely. The one handy in case I need it. Because there's a lot of nice detail in this, I don't want to leave much wood putty. I want to be able to get most of it out of here, into the cracks, filled, but not leaving it on the surface. So in a second or two, when I go around this, I'm going to come back and I'm going to, actually I'll do it as I go with how this is feeling. This would not be something I could do if I were just changing this frame with the antiquing gels. I couldn't mess with these corners. I'd have to leave them alone. Keep rubbing it, keep working it until you have the excess gone. That's not going to get any sanding at all. This has a chip here and a piece on the back here, so it'll be basically the same thing, but I'll do a little bit of shaping on this corner back here. Use your finger to push, go back and forth over those cracks to push the fill into where it needs to be. Using my finger just to pat that wood putty into shape. By letting it dry while I was doing the rest of it, now it's not sticking to my finger, so that I can mold it just by touch to fill that space. I'm doing the same thing on a spot down here at the bottom that's out of your view. This has had 3 coats of bone on it. It didn't require 3 coats because there was antiquing on it. Bone is just one of those colors that almost always needs 3 coats to cover fully. This was a dark frame, if you remember, to start with, so 3 coats have given it a nice full finish. What I want to use on this is weathered wood. It's a very good choice for highlighting, especially over whites, without causing a heavy look to it. So that's what's going to be used on this. And let's see, Jim, yeah, start down here in this corner. We have another video that is entirely antiquing gels and the ways to apply them, which will attach, that will help you as well. When you're dry brushing, which is what I want to do to this, I don't want to apply this heavy on here and wipe back. I want to keep as much of the white of this frame as possible. So in the inside area here, you're using the flat of your brush and you're just barely hitting it. I've turned my brush the other way. I don't need to get back in there to put a lot on it. I want to get just the edges of this, just barely. Highlight those because no matter what, you're going to hit that now and then. You can use your finger You can use a cloth, but I think your finger blending top points like that works better. Flat of the brush, barely touching. Less is more, less is more, less is more. Mantra that to yourself. When you put too much antiquing on, that is when things start to look dirty and poorly painted, and you don't want that. Where there's a larger design, it actually is tougher to stay just hitting the high points, so you've got to be patient to put those on. I literally just want to catch the high points on this. I don't want to get all into the middle yet. I may decide I want some in there, but I don't want it there now. I want to see what this looks like. And this, having that damp cloth right there, ready to remove, takes it off. If you can get it that fast, it will take it off without leaving a huge residue. I went down it a little faster to let you see that you can salvage, because there's a learning curve to this technique, and it can be really frustrating, and you can think, I just ruined it. No, you didn't ruin it. You just need to go ahead and fix it while it's right there and easy to do. And up close here, I can see where there are any raised edges that I haven't gotten. Or that I have rubbed back on. It starts not wanting to get those high points with the side of the brush. It's telling you it's time to get a little bit more antique gel in there. I needed to let the top dry brushing with the weathered wood dry before I came into these sides, because sometimes you'll steady yourself looking at a side, and I did not want to smear or move any of this on top of this. So I'm going to be adding just a little bit of the weathered wood on the sides, not tons, but just so this frame all ties together. When you leave the sides solid white or whatever color it is, and you put nothing on it after you have highlighted details on the very front, it can look unfinished, or it can look like there's two different ages on the frame. If you're new to my channel, the reason there's saran on the top of this is that adds to make a really good seal on the weathered wood itself, or any of the antiquing gels or sample size jars, so they don't dry out. So I'm going to use a rougher brush to put some highlights on this side over here for you. You want to go very, very little. Less is more, less is more. You don't want very much on here at all. I've already done the other 3 sides, so my brush is got paint up into it, but it's very, very dry. And you want a very, very light touch. On the corners are where a frame gets more handling. So you can put a little bit more in that area. But now I'm just going to bring my brush flat side along this line here that is on the frame. And hopefully you can see there is very little going on there. And I am not re-dipping my brush. And then down here, I'm going to do the same thing I did on the other end. It's going to get a little bit more because that's where it gets handled. I'm going to go back to pouncing off of the plate where I still had some to brittle up just a hint of the dry brush on here. There's very, very little on there, but it is enough here in person to make this look right. That it's not heavy, but now the whole frame ties together. Hopefully you could see from this video, there's a lot of options with the antiquing gels. They change things quite a lot or very little depending on what you want to have happen. You can always layer them, you can mix them, you can use them on a whole range of different surfaces. They have the top coats so they can be used indoors or outdoors on things. So in the process of thinking about things you want to change, keep those antiquing gels in mind. Please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you see all of our videos. And please do take the time to subscribe. It is the only way that we get any monetary benefit at all from the fact that we're providing these videos to you for free. Thanks for joining us.